All right. Okay. For you people that don't believe me, I just want to say this real quick. Now, it's two things I want to go over, and they're both kind of related. The real stuff, or the more serious stuff, is going to be later on that I really want to talk about. First off, The Walking Dead is not real. Now, I got people, ready to leave death threats, which I don't even care. You can leave all the death threats you want, or whatever you want to say. You can say whatever you want. But here's the topic I want to talk about. People leaving death threats over, why'd you say that about some kid? I didn't say anything about a kid. You said this about Carl. I said that about Carl. Carl's not real. He's a character in the show. It's a TV show. Someone says, that's my friend. He's nice and he's a nice guy. Okay, I'm guessing or I'm assuming that she means in real life, and that because I don't see her on the show. I don't know who this person is. She must be talking about him in real life. Maybe she does know the guy in real life. But either way, that's an actor. He's an actor. That's not him. Carl is a character. The guy who portrays him is an actor. They're two different people. When I talk about Carl, I'm not talking about the actor. That's the crazy thing. People actually literally think that the actor and the character they're portraying is the same thing. Like we had on that movie, Low Down Dirty Shame, where Jada Pinkett punches this actor and says, this was for what you did to such and such. Don't you realize that's not real? Some people said that I went too hard on him, this and this and this. I didn't go hard on him at all. He's not real. If in a movie a kid is killed, or a kid is decapitated, or a baby is gutted or sliced in half, I'll guarantee you that whoever portrayed that role is still alive. Then it's not real, okay? So when people say be lenient towards Carl and this and that, I'm not going to be lenient towards Carl. He's a character. He's a made up a person that's not real, made up by a certain person that's trying to portray a certain message or certain actions through this person, right? And they're trying to portray certain emotions through this person and deliver that to you in form of a kid. So when I say something about him, I'm talking about how effectively the writer or whoever is portraying the message he's trying to get across through this child. So it's not really it's a child. I mean it's a character. It's not really I'm not really talking about him. If I say I want him to die, even if I say I want him to die, I'm not talking about the guy who plays him on the movie. I mean on the TV show. And this is in general. I'm not talking about them in general. I'm talking about the character. You understand? So I just want to get that through people's head. Like people said that I'm the most evil person on the planet because I talked about a kid. It's not a kid. It's a character. It could be in any age. What you call him? Daryl's a character. Rick is a character. Oh, okay. Poodoo. Man, I'm expecting some throwing stories. I haven't been thrown in a minute. I got to start on. Matter of fact, it was supposed to start. Well, I don't want to digress, but it was supposed to start tomorrow. But as you can see, it's snowing. We got like a foot of snow. Okay, what's up, Vendettas? Man, I ain't famous out here, man. I'm getting killed in these streets. We still trying to work our way up, but this is nothing. Yes, I have been getting death threats and all kinds of stuff. He's a character. Now, on to the main part of the this video is not going to be long, or this stream is not going to be long. To the main topic of this video, or whatever this is, stream. I will also want to say that on the same topic, it not being real, that if something close to real life, even though they're trying to portray real life in certain aspects, just portraying real life or certain things that happen in real life, if it happened in the show, that does not justify it. And what I mean by that is, with the show, for example, in a movie, if somebody gets shot, if somebody shoots somebody, they'll say something like, I like the way you die. Or they'll say, they'll shoot them and say, how do you like your holes or something? I don't know. Or how do you like your slugs or escargot? How do you like your I don't know. I'm trying to think of something. Or they might shoot their legs off or something like that. And the legs come off, and the guy says, "How does it feel to be a midget?" I don't know. Now, us watching it, we're gonna be like, "Oh yes, that line was great." That doesn't happen in real life. How many times do you hear somebody narrate anything in real life in terms of shooting somebody? You understand? You see in the hood, they'll say, "Pop, pop, pop, yeah, I told you not to," stuff like that. But like if you ever watched that video called Gangster Grip, I believe, where they talk about, but in real life, you don't use those lines where you just shoot somebody and say, "I like the way you die." But in the movie, they better have my one-liners. Because us as an audience, we want to see certain things that's not real. You understand? So when they say that, oh, Carl was flipping out, but that would happen in real life, yeah, it could happen in real life, and it'd be understandable if it happened in real life. But I don't want to see somebody beat a dead horse if I'm watching the movie or I'm watching a TV show. You understand? So even though things, if an actor is hired to portray a certain person in a movie, that doesn't mean that everything they're going to do is going to be realistic. In movies, you hear people shooting, they put a silencer on their gun, all you hear is choo, choo, choo. That doesn't happen in real life. You see them disarm bombs by clicking the green wire, snipping the green wire, red wire, or blue wire, whatever. That doesn't happen in real life. What else? Somebody dies. They always close their eyes like that. That's not real. That doesn't happen in real life. But we want to see it in the movie. Why? The close the eye thing really just because you can't have they don't want the actor to blink, so they close their eyes. But we get so used to it, we'll want to see it. Like, why didn't he close his eyes? Stuff like, I don't know. But that stuff doesn't happen in real life. So you're supposed to expect certain things that aren't real. So Carl, him going through what he's going through, of course I want to see him toughen up because I'm watching it. Now, does that mean that I won't give him leeway because it's true to real life? Oh, yeah, you got to give it leeway. You got to give him some leeway. If it's something that happens in real life, I can take it for a certain amount of time. But at the same time, we don't want to see somebody beat a dead horse. Now, if we watch a character and he goes through some drama and we get to see, the inner workings of his psyche, that's great. And then we get to see, why he makes some of the same some of the decisions he makes. That works. But when they keep going over it constantly, over and over, we're going to say, boy, I'm tired of seeing this ignorant, stupid guy. I'm making the same mistakes. But guess what? In real life, especially like with child stars, they make mistakes that they at young ages that they continue making throughout their whole life. Now, we could say, oh, Carl, he can, whatever he's doing right now, we could say, oh, well, that happened in real life, and sometimes it goes on throughout the person's whole life. That doesn't mean that I want to see throughout the entirety of Walking Dead. I want to see Carl acting, an idiot throughout the entirety. I don't think anybody does. So even though certain things happen in real life, you don't want it in an animated series or a live action series or movies or film, anything. We have this a lot in the Naruto anime. We get a lot of filler. Oh, but some of that filler happens in real life. So what? You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm not going to count that because that's not canon material. Well, in canon material, we get a lot of flashbacks. The same flashbacks. Now, in real life, somebody might, in their mind, go back and revisit certain things that affected their lives, plenty of times. They might do that throughout the rest of their life. I don't want to see another flashback, bro. You understand? I don't want to see it. After a certain amount of time, it gets ridiculous. You understand? You might have a friend drop in on you at any given time, and you don't know who it is. I don't want to always keep seeing the same character reveal, like Uber Carr was saying. Certain things you don't want to keep seeing over and over and over again. So in terms of The Walking Dead, and not just that, and going forward from here, in my reviews or in my discussions, if I'm talking about a show, I can get very aggressive with a character, and it shouldn't be taken seriously, being that I'm talking about the character and not the actual actor. Now, also at the same time, for people that only are addressing the character but saying that I might be too hard because it can happen in real life, true, that has to be taken into consideration because, of course, they're trying to portray, something to be realistic. Of course, they're trying to portray it as realistic to a certain extent. But then you only can give it a certain amount of leeway because it still is fake, and humans have certain expectations. In comedies, like Friday, it was based on real life, somebody losing their job and they have a nutball friend. But do we want to see him just sit on the porch all day waiting for a big worm? No, we want to see him, getting into it with Debo, the guy getting high, getting caught up in the pigeon coop. That's what we want to see. So obviously, you got to, at the same time, when you're doing the narrative, you have to try to portray it in a way that that conveys real life human emotions and things like that. But you still have to make sure that it's in a presentable manner to the audience. So when I talk about that stuff, I'm taking that into consideration. So did I give Carl leeway? Yes, I give Carl leeway. He was being an asswipe in this episode. I'm going to go ahead and say it, but I still give him leeway. I don't hate the character. Later on, if they clean up and and he gets he figures things out and works everything out and gets his act together, which it looks like he's going to, then I'm not going to say anything about it after that. You understand? So that's just food for thought. When you're watching a series, everything doesn't have to be true to life. Something shouldn't be true to life. And if I'm talking about a character, it's not necessarily talking about the person. I got death threats about, oh man, I can't believe you said that about a kid. He's just a kid. He's not a kid. He's a character. Peace.